Once again, we are back, going strong, not done yet. The next guy is from Brazil. He is the best player in the South America. Matt, how is life?
I guess it's going well. Apart from, I don't know, being a keyboard player and having to deal with stuff with my wrist, it's like, and a part of Corona, obviously, it's all going great.
Everything going great besides this, and this. But tell
Yeah,
us, this you already mentioned it, so I guess we can just jump into it. You mentioned keyboard and the new game. How well do you feel that? Do you feel a more disadvantage now, more advantage being a keyboard player compared to being a pad player?
I believe from what I feel in the game right now that it is more advantageous to be a pad player. It's more disadvantage to play on keyboard, especially because you now have all the surfaces and different surfaces changing from like one that slows you down back to one that you have good grip, and no steering or just soft steering is such a big advantage that unless you do like cup and try to learn an analog keyboard, you won't be able to do that. And obviously ice is broken on pad.
But I guess something that maybe some viewers doesn't know is that you have some wrist problems. Can you tell people how serious are they at the moment? Have they healed up somewhat until the new game come out? Are they even getting worse? Tell people how is the wrist injury looking at the moment?
They had healed up, I guess. I had taken long pauses. I played way less per day than up until the game was released. And then the game was released and I started playing like 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day, maybe a bit more. I just I waited so long for it. I wanted to experience all of it at once, and it maybe wasn't such a good idea. So now it's back to being very annoying, sometimes even quicker than before. But I think it can be dealt with, but it's an issue
Hmm.
anyways.
Yeah, but how do you actually? I mean, it's a lot of hype once this new game comes out. I understand that you want to play as much as possible, but if you look into the future, instead, let's say in 2 weeks, do you think that you will be able to hold yourself back, if you want to call it like that? Because then you have big competitions like say a T event, Trackmania Grand League event, or are you just gonna go pedal to the metal and eventually play until it's no longer possible to play because of your wrist?
I think like I want to have this mentality that I can stop if it's necessary. But at the same time, I know that I probably won't. I know that I will probably just go and play as much as I can. It's like I love the game. I just want to play it most of the time. I sometimes I obviously have period times or time periods that I just play a little bit of another game, but I'll always be like in the back of my head, like when will I go back to Trackmania? I miss it. I want to play it again.
Hmm. But then, have you been at the doctor? And if so, are they saying like, yeah, stay away from gaming? And you're like, yeah, of course. And then you go home and play games. Have you actually gotten some official, I don't know, medical term for it?
Well, I think right after the TMGL combine was done, I went to the doctor and they said I had epicondylitis in my elbow. It's basically like tendinitis. So that was one thing. But then I had to work with it. I was doing physiotherapy, a lot of other stuff. And then Corona started. So I
Yeah.
stopped everything. And I haven't still gone back to doctor, but I have different kind of pain now. So it might have solved that issue and then other issues are starting. It's I have no clue. I need to go to the doctor.
Yeah, and something that is maybe something to bring up here is the Corona situation. I might forget to ask you because it's somewhat normal here back in Norway. But looking at the newspapers here in Norway, it's like Brazil is put up as one of the worst countries. But tell us, how is the situation being a Brazilian in Brazil at the moment? Is everything somewhat under control? Is it full chaos? How are yourself dealing with this situation?
I guess depending on the person you would ask it, like obviously people will perceive it differently. I think that it is a pretty bad situation. but especially because people don't want to believe in it. People thinking that it a health issue is a political issue, and then examples like from my family, my grandparents still don't believe in it. They say that it's all blah blah blah, unnecessary talk. But it's on my city we reached like officially 80 cases, I think, and it's a super small city. We barely have 30 super small 30,000 inhabitants. Yeah, that kind of doesn't fit, but but it still the numbers are growing every day. It still doesn't feel safe to go outside, but
Hmm.
the government keeps pushing for us to go outside and it is all fine, and I don't know, it doesn't sound too correct with when we look at the numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sad to hear, man, and just appreciate, or hopefully the future will be great for you and for Brazil. But let's move over to some topics that is maybe positive. It's the new game. If you are to describe to people what sticks out the most for you, what does sticks out the most for you in this new game? What is the main thing you will tell someone that asks you, what is the difference between Trackmania 2 Stadium and the new Trackmania?
Great question.
Thank you.
um,
Nothing?
it's hard to describe. I am not that good at formulating when an answer at this. I don't know. Maybe the game is like it's different. It obviously sticks out as a whole differently, especially the way it looks. I would say it has its own way of being. It's kind of like the scenery, the blocks, the car. It all fits together into its own environment. Uh, the driving looks different. It doesn't feel that much different, but it looks different, especially with the wheels from the car turning a little bit more apparently, even though your turning radius is the same. But I guess it's the game seems to fit in its own universe better than the other times.
Hmm. So you're positive about the future for this game, or I had Kappa on who was saying that this feels like maybe like a half-done game if you are a casual player. But do you feel it? Do you feel that maybe there is do you feel that this looks unfinished, or does it look finished to you?
I guess it looks like what it has, it's finished, but it still feels like it needs more. For example, with the event stop in game being locked, with new people or casual people coming and looking at it like, when does it open? But you don't have that information,
Yeah.
and uh, also related to also the memes. But if you see any other iterations of the game, you have water. Now you don't have water anymore. It's just frozen water. But uh, I guess it looks finished, but like for the casuals, they will look at it and they'll think that it's mostly okay. It, but if, for example, if with those bugs that keep happening, for example, the checkpoint timer bug, like for a casual that entered in that time span, he would not have a good experience. So I think like I feel like in 1 or 2 months the game will be much more pleasurable to play than it is right now, even if you're a casual or a hardcore player.
Yeah. The first time I met you was in Strasbourg last year for the ZLT Cup. Now we sadly cannot meet in the real life because the Accor Hotels Arena was cancelled, but there is nonetheless a ZLT Cup coming up this year. The qualification is taking place next weekend. How serious are you taking this year's edition? Now it's in solo. Are you finally looking to maybe get your first big solo win, your first big solo podium place? How serious are you taking this year's edition?
I would say compared to last year, I have trained a little bit less, especially because of the TMGL show match being really close to it. But I want to take it seriously, yet I'm not really liking the maps that much compared to last year's, to the others editions maps. They, I don't know if I have a grudge against the blocks, the new blocks. If I don't feel that comfortable yet with the blocks, but It's obviously now, maybe with the system of you playing always against or knowing always what is the world record, I just end up feeling worse comparing to that. Not that I'm actually doing that much worse. Maybe it doesn't help or it doesn't. I just want to qualify as much as I can. I want to push forward to it, but right now I don't think I am capable of at this exact moment.
But if you then look at the other big event that is Trackmania Grand League, how serious are you taking that? Are you still part of Space Station Gaming? Tell us, what do we need to know about you in Trackmania Grand League?
I'm still in Space Station, and I think it's gonna be cool. Like the new remakes of the TM maps for the show match are different, yet I like them more than when I played them in TM2. So that kind of makes me feel different, especially the sausage blocks. The one where the middle of the roll is heightened.
Yeah.
It's my favorite block for this new game, and it's being used quite a lot. So I look forward to see how creative the maps from the new edition will be using all this new stuff.
I talked a bit spam with it, and he came up with an idea, and you said in the chat that was a good idea. So I'm going to ask you, essentially for people that didn't tune into Spam's idea, he said that 16 players in Trackmania Grand League should teach 16 big streamers playing in Twitch rivals. If you had to pick one streamer to teach, who would that streamer be and why?
Oof. Yeah. It's like out of 16 in the world, we would have to limit, like, it would come only 16 from the whole world. Who would I pick? I don't know. Maybe obviously most people would go for the most famous ones, but I don't have that much contact with many of the big streamers. My knowledge is limited to like a few from the ones who played. I would really like to teach XQC, especially because of the way how his personality is very explosive, says a lot of stuff that is normally wouldn't be normal. I think that kind of fits with me. We could understand each other in some point. Maybe not if he speaks too fast.
But XQC and Matt make it happen. But for people that we are already running over the time, but I'm going to blame that on some technical problems here and there. But
Timing! This is unbelievable timing.
I mean, we are coming to an end soon, so who cares at this point? But anyway, yeah, I was supposed to end this. I guess Discord was like just giving me the hint of ending the interview here. But last question, or more like a promo for yourself. Tell people, where can they find you? What time do you stream? When do you stream? Tell people what they need to know if they want to hear more from you.
Twitch.tv/Matt___. I still don't know what's the name of that thing.
Underscore.
TM2. I will always be streaming Shitfest. Mondays, 20 CEST or CET in a foreseeable future. And the other days I have no clue. Sometimes I'm streaming, sometimes I'm not. I can either be streaming late at night, I can be streaming like 4 p.m. for Europe. I look at the weather, it's like it's streaming weather, and then out of nowhere I'll go streaming. I really need a schedule.
I guess the last question then is from Ansgar. He's asking, is Matt's going to change his name because TM2, you know?
I should. I think I'll leave it like that at this moment. I don't know. Maybe I'll remove the chew.
Yeah, maybe. But that's it. Discord was already telling me to leave you, so I guess I have to leave you now. And for people in the chat, the next interview is Mi Quattro, and after that is Riolo. So stick around for the 2 latest interviews today. And if you have any questions for them, let me know. And if you want to follow Matt, go to Matt_TM2. If you're here in 2021, maybe it's Matt_TM, hopefully. I don't know. Thank you a lot for sticking up, Matt, and sorry about the disconnection.
No problem. Thank you for everything.
That's it. A little break now, and then Mi Quattro is coming up.